let me get started. A couple things. Luke and I were just talking. We have all this week for class. One day next week is all. And then a week following Thanksgiving. And then that's basically it, except for finals. This class is scheduled for finals Tuesday at 8 a.m. Lucky us, huh? And you guys can give a short presentation on your company. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. I've reviewed for everybody that got their outlines in to me anyhow on time. I have reviewed those and given you some feedback. So we're gonna back up a little bit on that feedback. By the way, Alec, Brett, where were you guys sitting at the ball game on Friday?
Right at the bleachers on the stairs that go up.
Right on the bleachers.
Like you walk in the concession and that door.
Yeah.
And then right at the top there.
Yeah.
We waved at you.
Okay, I saw you. You guys were sitting quite a ways away, so it was kind of hard to recognize you for sure. But
Didn't put your cheaters on?
I had my I have distance glasses that I wear sometimes in the gym, and I had those on. But that's still a long ways away, you know, when you're trying to pick out faces and know who's who, you know. So Petra, I found, she was there. Yeah, number 12. Okay. And then Luke, he was kind and came up and said hi to me. So
I was there.
were you there?
Yeah, we tried. We were gonna come say hi to you, but they blocked off and it was like, "This is reserved."
The bouncers came.
I was on the reserve. I was on the south side. I was in there on the west. Yeah, on the west end.
On the reserve side?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
no.
told me to. They said you can sit there because there aren't very many people, so I did.
Really?
So that's probably why you didn't see.
Man, yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't see you. Okay. Might have to take your word for it. Okay. So let's back up a little bit though, because I did review everybody's outlines and made way more comments than I would have liked to have made. Somebody give me one of the elements or topics that's required for your paper. Somebody got another one, and you're out. You can't. History. Anybody got another one?
Strategies.
Well, one more.
Recommendation.
Well, that's required, but there's four main. Okay. And for some reason, in a lot of the outlines, I didn't find, all four of those things. Some, I think there was one or two even that left off the detailed financial analysis. Okay. And I know that maybe it was hidden, but it was right there in Project 2 under something called the outline. Word document, if you opened it, it kind of reads like this. It says your analysis should include, but should not be limited to, a discussion about the industry in which your company competes, a brief history of the company, discussion about the company's strategy, and an in-depth analysis of the financial data. And let me repeat now so that everybody hears me loud and clear, okay? Of those, this fourth one should be at least as long or longer, it should be longer than the other three combined, right? It's a paper, this is a business finance class. I want you spending some time digging through the finances. You can all write a paragraph or so about the other three topics. That's fine. That's just mainly to get the reader's attention, interest, those types of things, okay? So be sure that you're spending your time, and between now and when this is due, you would be wise to hit me up and say, are these the things that I should be looking at? Are these the things that are important? Are these the things that I should be writing about? Okay. You don't have, I think after chapter 14, you don't have any remaining assignments. You do have quizzes. Okay, so don't fail to do the quizzes. Make sure you're looking at those. I think for chapters 15 and 16 you have quizzes, but you don't have assignments. Okay, that was done a little bit purposefully, partly because it runs out of quantitative things in the book, and so any assignments that I gave you would just be kind of narrative types of things anyhow. But also partly because then you're going to have some time to work on this. Okay, I want you reading the annual reports. You don't have to read them front to back. That's 100 and some pages. That would be a little lengthy. Okay, but you need to look through the, especially the management's discussion about finances, right? It's going to be in there. It's in just about every annual report. The 20F that Alec has might be a little bit different, okay, but the rest of you have 10Ks, and they're pretty darn similar. They don't have to be exact, okay? There's no requirement, I don't think, that they be exact, but they have to have that certain content in there, okay? So that's what you need to be doing, in addition to finishing the quizzes and those types of things. You need to be working on that and running those things by me so we can look at it and say, yes, this is important, this isn't. And I put in there, there's some ambiguity in here in terms of the finances, right? Everybody's company is going to be a little bit different. An auction company does not make money the way an apparel company makes money. Nor does an apparel company make money the way a drug, an animal health, let's call it an animal health company, makes money, okay? It's different. Costco makes money differently than Walmart makes money, even though they're both retailers, okay? It's a little bit different how they go about, their things. And then you got Harley, which loses money. Okay? So there is some ambiguity about that. I can't write an outline for everybody and say, here's all the financial things that need to be in there, because everybody's company is a little bit different. I kind of used my example as banking, and banking's, if you guys looked at a banking income statement, you'd really scratch your heads, okay? Because you got net interest, you got interest income, interest payments, right, that the bank has to make out, interest expense, the difference is the net interest margin. That's basically kind of like a gross margin for other companies, but it looks completely different the way banks report it and whatnot. And so if you did a bank, it would be completely different as well. So, okay, onward. So when you get to your next assignment, which should be due the end of this week, that'll give me some time to look them over, maybe over Thanksgiving, give you back some feedback. It's going to be writing your introduction and conclusion. Do I expect that this will be the exact same introduction and conclusion that you have for the final paper? No, not necessarily. Okay, things may change between now and then. I understand that. As you write the paper, you may have some different ideas that you want to put in there. Okay, I just want to make sure that you have the fundamentals down. Your introduction, okay? And this is another thing that didn't show up in the outlines as well as I would have liked. You have to tell us what you plan to tell us, right? You have to summarize the major points of the paper. So you got to tell me. I'm going to tell you about the history of the company. I'm going to tell you about the industry in which it competes. I'm going to tell you about the company's strategy, and I'm going to give you detailed financial analysis, and in the end, I'm going to make you a recommendation. Okay? You need to put that in the intro. You need to put that in the conclusion. Of course, in the conclusion, you'll say, I told you about those things, right? And as a result, I make this, and based on my research and okay, I make this recommendation that I kind of say buy, sell, or hold. Buy would be that you strongly think that the company is worth owning and buying at this point in time. Selling means that you think that, oh my gosh, no, I don't think the stock price is going to go up. I think we ought to get rid of it. A hold is kind of that neutral, yeah. It's a good company, the price is kind of, and I could make that argument that right now valuations are getting a little bit stretched when we talk about that. The market's hitting all-time highs. It did again. We'll take a look here. The Dow and the NASDAQ, I think, closed both at all-time highs again today, just barely, and the S&P was just barely below its all-time high. Again, just barely. It reached all-time highs during the day, but I think it closed just a little bit to the minus. But pretty flat today. But Friday we had this huge run-up. Again, Friday the Dow was up 222 points. The NASDAQ, I didn't see 24, something like that. So huge run up on Friday. We didn't have class because we were watching the Skylights kick the crap out of Corbin. It was kind of fun. That was a fun game. Yeah. Well, yeah. playing up, a couple levels is different than playing up. Well, D2 wouldn't really be playing up a level. They're fairly. Most people consider that up a little bit in terms of the level, but not that much different than the NEI in terms of scholarships they can offer and whatnot. Anyhow,
She just played yesterday?
Montana State. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good thing. Is it Mackenzie?
Yeah, she'll do good.
Yeah. She good thing she hit her free throws. 14 out of 15 from the free throw line. So that accounted for almost half the Skylights points. That's tough. You're playing up like that, man. That's really tough. So, okay. Everybody got that when we talk about the intro and conclusion? Okay. You know, it makes sure the basics are there. You know, it's nice if you write it really well. You guys probably found out I corrected some things in your outlines if I found them. I didn't correct a lot for punctuation and whatnot because I know outlines they have a lot of fragments in it, and that's fine. But you need to be concerned about punctuation and those types of things too. I will correct those. I often tell people I'm a horrible writer, or I have been a horrible writer throughout my life. So if I'm catching things wrong, that's not a good sign. Okay, so write well if you need to. You know, I know some people don't write well. Get somebody to review it. I guarantee you, I think Belinda at the library will review things. Student Support Services will review things and give you that little bit of a check. You know, I think Steve Heskey's pretty good about that. I don't know about some of the other English teachers over there, but, you know, especially this, it's a couple paragraphs. They could look it over really quickly and give you, you know, pointers about punctuation, spelling, those types of things. Okay? Okay, questions about that? Questions about where we're going, next assignments? I think there is a chapter 14 assignment, isn't there?
Yeah.
Also due, but I think it's kind of a narrative thing too. I may talk a little bit, if you want to wait on that one, that's fine, because I may talk a little bit about it on Wednesday, go through some of that just quickly. I kind of said that at the beginning of the year, that I'm not going to do a lot of lecturing in this class, except for right at the start and maybe right at the end. I might whip through a couple of those things, because I do think they're really important when we get talking about overall markets and whatnot. Okay, so I think that those things are really, really important for us to know and understand. When you turn on the news and you hear something, it's kind of good to know what the heck they're talking about, you know, if at least a little bit. So, okay, I'm going to sign off here. I got a couple more questions for you, though.